In this video, we're going to be talking about natal moon and Virgo in the 12th house natally and what this placement means for you or somebody else when it's in the chart. And in general, the moon in astrology represents our emotions and the things that we care about. And it's also about our innermost selves. It's about our private personality. And it's a part of ourselves that people don't see when they first meet us. And it's a part of our personality that is different than what appears on the surface. And it's only when people get to know us on a personal level or on a private level that they see this aspect of our personalities. And so, what people see when they first meet us is our ascendant, and they see our sun sign. These are the things that we outwardly project. But the moon shows emotional needs, and it's things that we return to when we return to home or return to a place of comfort. And when the moon is in Virgo, which is the sign of organization, details, and practicality, this shows somebody that has an emotional need for things to be organized or for things to make sense or be familiar in their day-to-day lives. They don't like sudden change, and they like when things are in a predictable order or fashion, whatever that means for them. And so they can have emotional particularities because they're very sensitive to small details, small changes, or small inconsistencies. They're quite observant people, and they have a good memory as well. They're good at recalling very specific events or sequences. Now, next, we're going to talk about what this means in the 12th house. Because when the moon is in the 12th house, this is kind of like an opposition from Virgo, because the 12th house rules Pisces. And Virgo and Pisces are opposites. Pisces is all about our subconscious, and it's all about the non-tangible things of life. It's all about the spiritual realm, and it's all about our imagination or our perception of things. So the first thing about this placement is that for the most part, when you have Virgo here in your 12th house and you have the moon here, it shows that you have a fairly realistic perception or imagination of things. And more specifically, you have a relatable perception. Your way of perceiving things is always in alignment to society's way of perceiving things or to people's way of seeing things. And you're really good in general at making your perception of things relatable to others. That's one of the traits of this moon placement. And you have this need for your point of view to be relatable. One of your worst fears when you have this placement is to be seen as delusional or to be seen as wrong or inconsistent. And for people to see your insecurities, because the 12th house is also about insecurities. And when the moon is here, it shows somebody that likes solitude to a certain extent, or likes to be secretive to a certain extent. They have a certain part of themselves that they keep hidden away and that only they know or relate to. And that's true of all 12th house moon placements. They need solitude in order to recharge because other people can exhaust them. And for you, what exhausts you about others is that when you're around others, you always feel like you need to rectify your point of view or make it relatable or be really organized about your way of seeing things in order to not appear wrong or in order to relate to others just on a normal level too. Even if it's not about not being wrong, it's all about relating to other people kind of exhaust you just because of having to align your perceptions with others. So, the final thing about this placement is that they're very good at justifications. They're very good with words because the moon in Virgo is ruled by Mercury. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is all about communication, information, and Virgo is a Earth sign, and it's all about tangible things. So it's about tangible information. It's about facts, evidence, details. So, what I was saying, I forgot where I was going right before this, but like in a general sense, you have this need to like make sense of your point of view of things all the time. But something I was gonna say is that the 12th house, on a side note, is about spiritual topics, and it's about being open-minded. So in general, these people are like really open-minded, but they like to like make it make sense in their mind, and they like ask themselves a lot of questions, and they like put their imagination or their perception into words. And so yeah, they're just good at proving points, or like making their perspective like relatable, or drawing people into their way of seeing things. So finally, this placement can show that sometimes you confuse your way of seeing things with the perceptions of others, because sometimes you can't really tell if you're thinking of something or if the presence of others is influencing you. And that's because of this opposition theme of Virgo and the 12th house. So yeah, anyways, that basically summarized what I wanted to talk about for this placement. So I hope you guys enjoyed and that it resonated. If you did, then don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to this channel for more content. And other than that, I will talk to you guys sometime soon in another video. Peace. So a final side note about this placement is that since the 12th house is about the subconscious, and the moon is here, a lot of times your emotions or your insecurities can be unconscious to yourself when you have this placement, or your needs as well, like your need to rationalize your perception all the time. So in life, these individuals may sometimes get in disagreements with people, especially in relationships, and they will project their disagreement onto the other person. And you're really good at defending yourself, and you're really good at using words in order to justify yourself. And the sometimes though, this is just due to the fact that you're hiding yourself in plain sight in terms of when it comes to your insecurities, because Virgo is about details, it's about facts and evidence. The moon is about our sense of security, and the 12th house is about hiding. So ultimately, like, sometimes this placement can like have this sensation of hiding in plain sight. So like there's aspects of themselves that if people try to confront that aspect of them, they will quickly make sense of it, or like have some sort of reasoning to justify themselves, or like to defer other people. What's the right word for that? Not defer, but to like redirect other people in another direction. Like they're really good at putting attention away from things, or like changing what people are focused on. Like so that may be a theme that you relate to, especially if you've had like significant disagreements in your life, or like you've had this theme of like not getting along with significant others at some points in your relationships, and it causing, this non-stop like blaming kind of effect. And that's just, sometimes the effect of this placement, because a lot of times your emotions, your feelings are subconscious to you, and you like to hide the truth in plain sight. And meanwhile, you're not even aware that that's what you're doing. But it's because you're able to make sense of what will make you most comfortable, which a lot of times is just not having to change or not having to like do something right. Or this could be like something that you deal with in other people. Like other people have this trait. So sometimes it may not be yourself, but you've likely dealt with situations like that when you have displacement, like confusing relationships, confusing back and forth, confusing disagreements. So I just wanted to add that as well.